welcome. I was going to say it's great to see you all, but I can't actually see you since we're in presentation mode. But it's good of you to join today. We're going to take you through a brief introduction of Global Resilience Partnership, and then we're going to talk more specifically about RAIN. And we're also going to listen to two speakers briefly, and then we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. I'd like to introduce everyone, but Gerald, could you maybe go to the next slide, please? There we go. My name's Jesper Hornberg. I'm the head of innovation and scaling at the Global Resilience Partnership. I've been so since 2000 and, well, a long time, 2015, around there. And it's my pleasure to introduce some good friends and colleagues that will speak to you today. We will listen to Kritus, and he will introduce himself a little bit more. We will also listen to Sylvia, who will also introduce herself a little bit more. And then it will be my great pleasure to introduce you to Gerald, who is the man in charge. I'm very pleased to be able to hand over to him on that. We will, since we're in presentation mode, if you have any questions or anything, you can leave those in the Q&A or in the chat, and we will address them. If there are any technical issues, maybe you can send a message directly to us, to myself or to Ida, and we'll sort that out, hopefully. Good. Next slide, please. I'm going to be talking high level on what GRP is, the Global Resilience Partnership. I'm not going to dwell too long on this. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat, or check out the website. We're a partnership, and we're here to try to further resilience in terms of knowledge, in terms of implementation, and in terms of understanding not just what resilience is, but how can we become more resilient. We really advance that. Some of that work is through innovation work. What we're going to talk about today is part of that. It's also hardcore knowledge. We are hosted by the Stockholm Resilience Center, which is an academic institution working specifically with resilience, so we feel pretty good about that. And we also work a lot with policy, being present at the COP, for example, being a convening platform for a lot of different organizations, and getting you guys to talk more to each other and to talk to other stakeholders in the space. Next slide, please. I mentioned three areas: knowledge, policy, and innovation. Let me quickly go through them. Next slide, please. So innovation is where we are now. That's where Gerald and I work, and it's through us that we engage with you guys, as well as the two speakers that we have, Kritus and Sylvia. We want to identify, support, and scale on-the-ground innovations. So we are very humble about this. We know that we learn as much from you as you possibly learn from us. And I'm not sure you actually learn that much from us, but we like to ask a lot of questions. Next slide, please. We use this to generate knowledge. We want to share that knowledge. We want to study the data that we can collect, and we want to draw conclusions on where we should maybe focus in the future when it comes to what we do in innovation, as well as what we need to talk about at a sort of a larger platform. Next slide, please. Thank you. And that's where we try to accelerate that knowledge and get that into the right domain, get it in front of people in a way, get it in front of people who can decide where to put support and resources and do good things. So we want to sort of be part of shaping that. By having all these three, we we think one feeds the other, feeds the other, feeds the other, and that's how it's supposed to be. Next slide, please. Thanks, Gerald. We're a partnership, and these are our current partners, and you can see that it's a wide range of different actors, from large INGOs to small entrepreneurs to governments and other bilateral funders, to multilateral funders, and that's what we want to do. The more we can help have a good dialogue here, learn from each other, learn from you, learn from them, the better we think that it is. Next slide, please. We see that this brings value to our partners, and I'm not pitching to you to all become partners now. There is a process for that, but the value to partners, as we see it, is that we can give access to that knowledge, that expertise in resilience and science and development practice, so that it's good. We've been doing this for a while, and before this, we were doing other stuff that was pretty similar. We've done this since 2015. We've dispersed about $35 million to various projects, and we've been able to leverage additional funding from other partners, commercial investors, as well as impact funders, as well as various foundations and bilateral funders. Connectivity, credibility only comes if we can work with people on the ground, projects on the ground, and be present a little bit more in local communities, not ourselves necessarily, but through you. Without that, we're just sort of a talk shop, and we definitely don't want to be just that. We have a pretty big reach. We will be launching a couple of initiatives, actually relaunching in the new year. We launched them at the COP, where the GRP will be working with large bilateral funders to call large corporates to action when it comes to building more resilience. So there's much more to come in that space, and hopefully we will have stuff that we can also offer and include you in. Next slide, please. Yeah, some numbers. You can probably click a few times here, Gerald. This is just us at the very high level, and I think there are 2 more bubbles. Thank you. If it's interesting, yes, I think it is interesting, but it's not super relevant for what we're going to talk in a bit, other than to say that by engaging with us in this call for proposals, our aim is not just to support a little bit, but to actually include you and move forward with you and support you a little bit more long term. Next slide, please. Yeah, so here we come back to innovation. That's what we're going to talk about. I think the next slide is me introducing someone, so please. Yes, we've worked for a few years now with this initiative in Tanzania, run by Kritus. And I'm going to let Kritus tell us a little bit about what they do and how we have engaged and what that has meant. And then I'm going to ask the same thing to Sylvia after that. So Sylvia, you can prepare mentally for it. Kritus, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jesper. Hi, everyone, participants and organizer. Thanks so much, Jesper, again for organizing this. So my name is Kritus Mtonga. I'm based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm working with an NGO Aqua Farms organization. And through our work, we are developing the carbon credit project with the mangroves to improve resilience of the coastal communities against flooding and the coastal protection to make them, protect the mangroves. And from these mangroves that are being protected, we change them into credits and they get benefits. And we expect from this funding, they can, support schools and some of the services in the village. So coming back to our engagement with the Ocean Risk and Resilience Action Alliance and Jesper through these global resilience partnerships. It was really an inspiring journey and an interesting journey. Just think about you as participants of this event have, babbled with ideas, or maybe you've started something small in your communities to improve resilience of the, agricultural farmers. We all know that, people from East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, yeah, we all are aware of the impact of the climate change, and think of this call as a part of like changing your own community. Like from our case in our NGO, it started as an idea, idea, but then when we started to engage with Aura and Jesper and his team, we got not only the mentorship support, apart from the mentorship support, of course, this mentorship helped us to refine our concept, refine our ideas to become investable and more impactful. Through they have a network, like you said, the network of, partners in different areas of knowledge, innovation, and so whatever idea you have in mind, as long as you think it's workable and fits in this category, just put it right there. Don't worry, like you don't have a lot of details for now. You need to ask people. There are a lot of very nice people that they can help through their partnerships. And also for our case, after refining your idea becomes very powerful, very good, and then they can, support startup of your idea, and then as it grows, it can, gain more audience. This is another advantage of being part of this journey, is that you get connected to the audience because they share your ideas in their websites. They, every here and then, for my case, I receive emails and I connect with many people who have known Aura or any of the partnerships with Aura, which makes me feel good because I feel like the idea will achieve its desired state. So don't lag down. This is a very few, very rare opportunity that I can say that we can have from East African. That if you have an idea that you think it's workable, don't think more, just go for it, and you will get all the help and mentorship through this stage. So I would encourage everyone attending this to not miss this opportunity. Jesper, did I forget anything?
No, that's great. Thank you so much, Kritis. Yeah, Kritis was part of a cohort doing exactly this, but related to ocean and nature positive agriculture when it comes to coastal communities. And that happened through this organization that we also work in, that's called Ocean Risk Resilience Action Alliance. That's a very long name. But it is the same thing, just to sort of clarify that. Sylvia, we used to see each other a lot a few years ago when you were at Producers Direct, and now you've joined Farm Better, which is absolutely exciting to see. Well, it's not very recent, but you did a while ago. It'd be lovely to hear from you what you do at Farm Better, and a little bit also engagement with us, just to give the participants a flavor of what's in store if they apply and are successful. Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Jesper. I hope you can hear me. This is a sound check.
It's a good sound check. It works.
Thank you. So my name is Sylvia, as Jesper has said, and I am part of the Farm Better team, a passionate team of social change makers. And what we do is we're digitizing agriculture advisory services. So one thing that we found as a challenge with the farmers that we work with, and especially the small scale farmers, is they're impacted by the negative effects of climate change, and they is a lack of access to tailored knowledge on how to best adapt to these challenges. And then secondly, you find that we have extension agents who are willing to support farmers, but there is always a limiting factor on budgets and the ability to meet all the farmers that are within that jurisdiction. So you have a situation where you have an extension agent with over 1,000 farmers that he is serving. So there is an issue of providing or linking extension agents and being able to support his large group of farmers. So what we have at Farm Better is a mobile application that integrates with a WhatsApp, and it's a digital tool for the extension agent to be more effective and efficient in his service provision to his network of farmers and do this digitally. So what we are doing is digitizing the work of an extension agent. And then secondly, we then match small-scale farmers with extension agents, and also with that, the tailored actionable knowledge so that they can continue or they can continuously have information on how to best adapt to the changing climate and build their resilience and ultimately improve their livelihoods. But we do this based on the farmer's location and situation. So the farmer is able to indicate what kind of goals that they'd like. For example, if they'd like to improve their income, improve their yield, reduce their labor. And based on that, we then match them with the best practice. And with that, we also match them with an extension agent who can walk them through that journey. We have had many partners, but one important partner has been GRP, or the Global Resilience Partnership. And through that, when we were starting early stage in 2019, we were still struggling with how do we actually articulate our business? How do we put together what we have in mind and take it to market. And through the GRP Innovation Challenge back then in 2019, we attended an event, and that was part of that coaching process and coming and meeting networks of donors and sector leaders and peers in the space, who then helped us to, and we were then supported to improve our value proposition and improve our business pitch. We've also been participating in different opportunities and showcases that Jesper has been inviting us to. We participated at the COP27 side event, where it was the launch of this particular rain challenge, and also other funding opportunities that we have been brought to our attention by GRP as we have been working together. So I think we are immensely grateful for the chance and the opportunity we got at 2019, because that is what built us to be where we are, or set some of the foundation that we needed so that we can grow to what we are right now, and even start having and seeing the traction that we've been seeing over this past 2 years of our actual activity in the market. Back to you, Jesper. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was lovely. There's a whole team. Thanks for referring to me here, but there's a whole team. I'm just sitting on other people's shoulders. And there's a whole team at GRP and in the innovation team and EDA and so on. And they're more important than I will ever be. And the most important part of the success that you're seeing are you, because I mean, you're pretty awesome. And we're just lucky that we can find you and try to support you as much as we can. And thankfully, you don't have to listen to me anymore, because now I'm handing over to Gerald, who's our challenge manager. I'll be here, so any questions later on that are directed to me, I'll be available. But with that, over to you, Gerald.
Thanks, Jesper, and also many thanks to you, Kratos and Sylvia, for a very inspiring word you've mentioned about the work that GRP and the ORIC is doing in the resilience sector. So my name is Gerald David, and I am the Rain Challenge Fund Manager. Joined GRP almost a couple of weeks ago, but I've been working on the challenge funds in agribusiness and the agri sector in Africa, I think, for the past 6 years. I'm very glad for you to make time to join this webinar to learn more about the Resilient Agriculture Innovation for Nature, in short RAIN, and what it entails to do, how you can be part of that quite very innovative challenge across East Africa, and any way we can help you actually get to actually be part of this journey. I'm gonna provide you with an insight about the RAIN challenge, and then after that we can welcome you to put questions if you have. But in the meantime, while I'm talking, I think you can be able to put your question under the Q&A section on the Zoom chat you see there, or the normal chat or the Q&A section. So what is RAIN? Yeah, technology. RAIN aims to convert the seed level innovative agriculture ideas that are meeting resilience needs in East Africa. This is a spatial partnership between the Global Resilience Partnership and Shockwave Foundation, which provide these resources to support initiatives across East Africa, looking to work with the different organizations across East Africa to address the critical issue of the resilience in our agricultural space. So the aim is actually to identify these innovative agricultural ideas, and then to provide them with what we call the customized support with each initiatives and potential for impact. The challenge aligns with the potential funders also to drive the attention to urgent needs of agricultural system transformation. In this, just to say that the participants of the Challenge Fund will have an enormous opportunity to get engaged with the different players within the market, to get connections, to get pitched up to different funders, to other players within the market to actually pitch the ideas and address the critical issues that is facing the globe at the moment, in particular in East Africa. And the challenge is actually open to the East African countries. If you look, it's Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, South Sudan, and Uganda. That's actually open to this challenge. What is the objective of the RAIN challenge? It is to surface, actually, as I've said, the new innovative agriculture that have been assessed, rigorous, and selected. So we will take them through a very rigorous selection process, which will be quite very transparent. And the winners actually will be able to get support, as I mentioned before, which is customized support, and also to have their ideas pitched to different players in the market for any scalability, but also investability. And also to drive attention for the urgent need to transform agriculture systems, getting these ideas out there, having the market player understands what is out there, what people are doing, what kind of initiatives are there, how can they support those innovative ideas to try and transform agricultural sector within our globe, and particularly in East Africa. And it also aims, the objective also to disseminate innovative resilience agricultural interventions to the wider group of parties. There's quite a very rich of innovative ideas across East Africa. Over the past 7-6 years, I've been working with the Challenge Fund. We've seen a lot of innovative ideas that are out there that with funding, with support in terms of resources, but also in terms of mentorship, in terms of pitching and also connection, these ideas could actually address the most critical challenges that are facing agriculture within our area of work. But also, it aims actually to bring together an investment platform whereby the RAIN will encourage further investments and also the development of initiatives to build the resilient agricultural system. And this will be done during the entire phase of the RAIN challenge. There will be a very phased part of the challenge that takes this businesses, also entrepreneurs, civil society organizations, whoever apply and also get funded for this particular initiative, will have that bucket list of support to be able to take the idea out there and to be able to scale and develop it more widely to support more people. Support and funding for winners. So what to expect as you become a RAIN challenge fund winner? So you will be connected to investors. That's the first and most. We had a wide range network of investors across Africa, but also within the globe, who are willing and actually looking for initiatives that they could invest and actually put their resources to good use. And as GRP, we are able to convene and bring them together and actually showcase exactly what we have unearthed across East Africa, and also pitch them to be able to get support going forward to improve their work. But also, we provide the communication support to business, understanding, having the idea but also getting the idea out for bigger players to be able to hear the idea, but also take attention in the idea. The communication support from the GRP team, we actually be working quite very well with the grantees to provide the support. We will also be providing a tailored mentor program that will actually come from a pool of GRP mentors that have provided mentorship support, I think for the past 15 years. A couple of them include Jasper, but also myself. And also we have, as I say, a pool of experts that are at our disposal in terms of providing this support to the businesses, in terms of investment readiness, but also looking into other areas of support to grow the ideas into more resilient and more developed ideas that can provide and solve the challenges that we're facing at the moment. You also get a chance to participate in the GRP Leadership Academy. So this will be a dedicated focus on personal development and group dynamics. So the Leadership Academy will actually be available to the winners of the RAIN Challenge Fund, and will provide a very much needed support on the leadership, both at the personal level, but also on the group dynamics. You'll also be invited to an investor forum, which will be organized. Pitching sessions, it might be in person or virtually, to present your idea and actually pitch your innovative idea to the funders and investors across the globe. But also, lastly, every winner of the challenge fund will receive a cash prize after an initial mentoring period, and then after the Leadership Academy. What are the key timelines for this RAIN Challenge Fund? So the RAIN Challenge Fund was launched at the COP27 event in Egypt on 12th of November this year. And then it was open for applications from 12th of November. We expect to continue to receive application up to 10th of January of 2023. We will be also reviewing the applications and assess those from 10th of January next year, 2023. And we will be announcing the winners on the 15th of February of 2023. But also we will be sending out notice to those that have not been successful at this round of application, and hope that they can get another chance to look at the application and help perhaps be able to apply on the next round when it is announced. How to apply? So you can go through our websites, and it is on our social medias from LinkedIn to Twitter and Instagram. Look into the Global Resilience Partnership, the RAIN Challenge Fund. There's quite a very good guidelines in terms to take you through how to apply. And then there will be a web template available on our website. You can just download it and then fill in the questions that are in there. Pitch your idea as best as you can. And as Krista say, if you have a good idea, just get it in there. Just let us see what you have out there, and then we'll be able to get back to you. And we expect to get these applications by 10th of January in 2023. And more information about our work in terms of Global Resilience Partnership and other initiatives that we're working are also found here at our website and the globalresiliencepartnership.org. Yeah, thank you. That's me, and I can open up now the floor to question and answers. I hope there has been a question on the chat section. I'm not able to read that as I'm in presentation mode. I'm going to end my presentation mode and then see if we can read more question and answers.
Well, Gerald, that was really good. Clearly, it was clear and concise enough for people not to really have any questions.
Maybe that slide with the with your contacts would be, maybe can stay for a few seconds if people would want to reach also. Maybe.
Sure.
Sorry for interrupting.
That's fine. That's fine. We can put it there.
There are some questions coming into the Q&A now.
Okay. Just gonna put up my contact slide so that you just wanna reach directly. That will be also fine. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna open up the questions. All right, so we'll go directly now into the questions. Okay, there's a question from Roy Kipombale Kalenkio, hope I pronounced your name correctly, about the consortium of organization application. Is it okay to be presented by one person or more than one anyway, which is better? I'll throw this to Jasper, if you can kindly respond.
Of course. It can be represented by one person or a consortium, but you need to have one lead applicant. So that's the answer to your question is it can be an individual, and you can have more people and organizations involved. That's not a problem. And I think that I can give the same answer to Michael. You can apply as an individual. I can just shoot through this, Gerald, if
Sure.
Yeah. Well, climate change, does it have to be related to climate change? It needs to be agriculture and nature positive agriculture. So it depends on where you draw the boundaries around climate. We're not looking for climate damaging agricultural solutions. I mean, who would? But we're actually asking for nature positive ones. So if you have an agricultural project that improves biodiversity, improves chances for nature to support the biodiversity that needs to be there for healthy nature, healthy environment, that's the kind of solution we're looking for. So Grace, I hope that answers your question. It doesn't have to be specific climate change, but it needs to be positive for nature, if that makes sense, which sort of indirectly relates also to climate change. If you feel that you need more answers, please type here or email me or Gerald, and we'll tell you more about that. John, the winners can win. It depends. So there is funding available to disperse to from us, from GRP at this present, to test things and to pilot something. Not much, but there is more money down the line. As Gerald was going through, we will receive applications and we will shortlist a few. And those shortlisted we will work with, and this is way before any money will go out. We will work with those shortlisted for 3 months. It will be really testing the idea, spending time discussing what the problem is, the solution, how well do they fit, what's actually needed. And the reason is that we don't want to send money before we feel that the problem and the solution are clearly defined. And then we are willing to seed fund a little bit as well. But what's really the kicker is what comes in afterwards. And that is once your models and ideas have been with us and you and in a discussion between us for a while, we will connect you with funders, investors. We have our own resources we can put towards it as well. So it's not the competition where you can win an award and then you walk away. It's not like that. It's much more working with us. That is by design, very much. I hope that answers your question, John. But in the partnership and within GRP, there are resources to spend on this. Yes, Jacqueline, we have had all sorts. We've had people with ideas. We've had, and that's it. And we worked with them, and they are now established. We've had people with, or some of them are established. We worked with large INGOs like Mercy Corps, Lutheran, World Relief, Near East Foundation, Red Cross, and we worked with businesses that are consulting businesses that want to test something that they haven't done before, and they need a bit of support and network and so on. So what we haven't worked with, and that's also on purpose, are government agencies. To engage directly with them is a little bit too complicated for us. Yes, the RAIN Fund is at the moment only targeting East Africa, the countries that Gerald mentioned. We hope that we will in the future expand that, and we are already now in early talks with potential partners in West Africa. We have some projects already in Southern Africa, and we want to expand that. We also want to expand in East Africa and include more countries, but it's a question of limited resources and staying focused on what we want to achieve. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we will do that. This is currently funded by Shockwave Foundation, and we will add another funder in the new year. But I can't really say at this point, before we've signed everything with them, where that will take us. But it doesn't look too bad for you. Okay, good. Thank you. Well answered. I like that. It is not mandatory to have a co-applicant. You can apply on your own. What we will be looking for is the potential for you to do something that's impactful and nature positive when it comes to agriculture. So if you feel that you have all the resources you need to do that on your own, and you think that you can argue that, great. We might be of a different opinion, but that doesn't mean that you won't be shortlisted. It might be that we are of a different opinion, but we see the potential and we include you. So I wouldn't let that stop you. If you don't have a co-applicant, really don't worry about it. That you can even state that that's something that you'd like to work on. We have a network, and your co-applicants that will also hopefully be shortlisted, they also have networks. So that's not a negative by any means. Emmanuel, good question on the funding. It depends. It depends on what the capacity of receiving that investment is, and how well it's argued for what the investment should be used for. As I said, we don't give awards and then you do what you want and so on. We want to work with you so that the resources that are coming your way from us and from others that we know and that we don't know yet maybe at this point, it needs to be well argued why that funding should go there. And that needs to be a complete picture, the funding that's required in order to do this thing over here, in order to have this impact. Having done this quite a few years or decades even, we've come to the conclusion that trying to solve problems with only the money is not the right way to go about it, and it doesn't really set you up for success, but rather taking a step back, because it might mean that you need more money than you ask for. It might mean that you need less money than you ask for. It might mean that you need a different type of support before you get the money. So that's why we're a little bit wary of just saying, oh, it's $50,000 or $100,000, because we at this point don't know. It really depends. A journey to take innovation to scale is not the journey that you go from A to B. You might end up at B, hopefully, in the end, but you will go through the entire alphabet on the way there, trying to figure out and what you're doing, having to pivot your idea, doing something different, maybe making money on something that you didn't think would be core to your operation, instead of what you actually brought to the market. It might mean that you don't understand the customer needs in a way that's necessary, and you need to learn that. I say that as an entrepreneur myself. It's sort of what I did before I started doing this, and I, to some extent, still do. You learn always, and trying to just get money and solve it that way doesn't necessarily help. This is about the other bits that you're doing. How long should the proposed intervention be? It shouldn't be an intervention in the sense that it happens and then it stops happening. It should be something that can lead to something else. So setting up a business doesn't have an end date. Trying to introduce an innovation doesn't have an end date. It's something that needs to be picked up. So if you're thinking about for how long you should sort of have a work plan, well, that depends on what it is that you're trying to do. So I will leave that ball in your court, I'm afraid. And if you need any more clarity on how to present that, don't hesitate to reach out. But it's an important question, because there is a distinction between doing an intervention and then walking away and doing something that should have viability to continue living. We don't want to we don't want to just sort of see what we can introduce and then walk away. We want you to show that this is something you'd like to run with.
Jesper, sorry.
Yes.
Can I just jump in? Kritis has his hand up.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jesper, for all the explanations. Just to add that many people can have question on the, how much grant they can get. But, from other experience of, other competitions, is that they should know that also the disadvantage of having ceiling funding is that after the mentorship, your idea evolves and it can go in all this other direction. And then when you get little funding to do the testing of your ideas, you can learn also from that testing. And with these resilience partnerships is that the idea that you have will be successful in the way you envision, because after GRP work with you, then they give you training in the leadership academy. Your network grows the way to negotiate and make partnerships with other people, so you could achieve your idea in extraordinary miles than you can imagine, and with more funding, I guess, when you refine ideas. So thanks.
No, thank you, Kritis. That's, yeah. Thank you. Exactly like that. It's a journey. To qualify as a lead applicant, have a good idea and apply. There is nothing else. You don't need any certification or anything like that. It's just have a good idea and get it to us, preferably on time before the deadline, and then we look forward to reading it and engaging with you. Michael, excellent initiative you have there, I think. Familiar with the runoff principle. Do you have a question? If your question is whether that would be a project that could qualify, I can definitely see that it could be. But I would need more details on what it is you would do with the water and so on. There's no age. Well, I've actually never had that question before. I guess it helps if you're 18. But if you're not and you're on this call, I think you can probably figure out a way to apply anyway. So No, and I'm thinking about it, there is no age limit.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasper. Should we give more few minutes? Anybody have any more questions before we can? No, we have 10 minutes to go, but yeah, we still can take any 1 or 2 more questions. Great, just as a reminder, please just visit the website to get the guidelines to apply and look into the charts. The general charts, our host has provided you with the information to see the guidelines, but also the link to get the application and also the contact details that if you have any questions, you can just send to, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to get you on the way to apply. Just go on the normal chat and then you can find all information about applying, but also the contact if you have any question whatsoever.
All right, we'll end it here then.
Super. So yeah, thanks a lot for making time to join our session on webinar. I hope it has been very informative. I hope it has provided you with the information you need to go on and apply for this opportunity. And we're looking forward to receive your applications. And we look forward to answer any question you might have after this call. Also thanking our guest speakers for providing the experience on working with GRP and the support you can get through working with GRP. And we're looking forward to receiving your applications. Jasper, if you can say a word.
No,
I was just gonna
say, the only one you left. The only one you left was to say thank you to you as well.
And thanks to the person behind the screen who has been helping
indeed.
out, setting up everything in operation. Thanks a lot.